right in the kisser.
How the devil are you? Right, look at this today. We've got a Douk Audio P1 Plus. Nice to see Douk Audio putting a picture on the actual box itself. Oh, now this is a DAC. It's also a Bluetooth receiver. It's also a preamp. And it's also a headphone amp. We better get this thing out of the box. Right, let's finish assembling this. So we start off with the tubes. Well, that's almost going to roll on the floor then. That'd be no good if I smashed to bits, would it? End of review right here. Okay, let's have a little look what we got. These are never that easy to get in. Maybe this will prove me wrong this time. There's one. And there's the other. Let's pop that in there. See what I flipping mean? There you go. Okay, we're in. Now, I'm going to give these a rub off because I don't want people losing their minds in the comment section. Some people get very stressed out when people leave fingerprints on these tubes. So there you go. Just for you. So you won't get stressed. Your OCD is going to be okay today. There we are. All the fingerprints wiped off. Right, you got the VU meter here. Now, got a little screw on the front. On the back, we have a button that turns. I'll look into these, what it does a bit later in the video. And also, that presses, it's a little click there. I'm not sure if that does anything. So, without looking at the instructions, because I never do, because I'm stupid, okay? That plugs into there, thus so. And then this then plugs into here. It's a 3.5mm jack in there. And then that then, pop, there you go. Right, so you can move it around. You can have it facing like that, straight on. Beautiful. Let's pop on the aerial on the back. The Bluetooth aerial is quite teeny. A little bit teeny. Okay, take that off there. Yeah, come on. Right, there you go. Screw that on. Nice. And there we've got the remote. So what we got? Bass, bass, treble, treble, select, mute, volume. I'm not sure if that does anything there. And display. I wonder if that dims the display potentially. Now it also comes with an optical cable there and USB-A to USB-B cable, which goes in there, yoink. Oddly enough, it comes with a thumb drive. And I was like, oh, that's cool, it comes with a thumb drive. You can put your media on there and plug it in to where? There we are, we plug it in there like that. There you go. So it doesn't have a USB to plug into. So am I missing something here, or they just fancy giving me a free USB stick? There you go. There we are. Now, is it me, or does it look like something that could be in a Flash Gordon movie? Now, I, now for me, it may not be to everybody's taste, but one thing I will tell you, it's different, very different. And I suppose it's everybody's interpretation, whether it's good different or bad different. Let me just straighten these out. They're bugging me. They're bugging me there. You've also got a headphone socket on the front here as well. So yeah, it might not suit everybody's tastes. I think it's quite funky. I do think it's pretty cool looking, but other people may go, I'm not sure. But it is different, I'll give you that. Anyway, let's get it plugged in and set up and see how it sounds and how it operates. Okay, before we see it in action, just want to go over the connections, some of the specs, and then we can have a little mess around with it then. So, we've got audio out. You can plug it into an amplifier, seeing as you can use it as a preamp, of course, into another headphone amplifier. It's already got a headphone amp, so I'm not sure why you would plug it into another one, perhaps a better one potentially. Active speaker and a subwoofer. And I think you can connect it via the auxiliary out, pop into your active sub. You've got an auxiliary in, you've got RCA in, coaxial and optical. You've also got optical out as well. Now, for me, I'd use this as a desktop DAC. Definitely use it on my desktop, connecting it to an amp and then to some passive speakers. That's how I would use it. Some people may want to connect it to a active speaker, but I can see this as a decent desktop preamp stroke / DAC, whatever. But I mean, if you wanted to improve the sound of your TV, whatever, phone, laptop, right? But say your TV, the good thing is that you can connect your TV to this either via coaxial or optical. Most TVs have one of these, and now a lot of sound bars do have an optical in. So potentially you could connect your TV to this DAC and then connect this to a sound bar. If you didn't have passive speakers or active speakers to go on your TV, you could connect these to because a lot of sound bars have an optical in. I know preferably you want to use ARC, but then you're going to be using the DAC in the TV. So if you want to improve it, you could go that way. Anyway, just food for thought. Let's have a look at some of the specs we've got. Now, apparently, it's got a luxurious chipset, unleashes peak performance. So we've got QCC5125 Bluetooth chip, supports aptX HD and LDAC. Now, it's good to see that. The Bluetooth, they're really improving on their Bluetooth codecs. They're going away from SBC. It's good to see these higher codecs on the Bluetooth. And it can achieve up to 24-bit 96 kilohertz. Then you've got the SA9137L USB chip, and then you've got the ESS9018K2M. Now I think this is slightly older and has been replaced now by the ES9018K2M DAC, which was in the Douk Audio's DAC Q11. I think so, I'm not 100% sure on that. It's a slightly older DAC, but as long as it's implemented well, it should still sound pretty good. Nothing wrong with that. And it can still handle up to 384 kilohertz, 32-bit, and DSD 256. It's got a TPA 6120 amp chip for the headphone amplifier, which is ranging from 16 ohms to 600 ohms. Not sure how good it would fare with the 600 ohm headphones. I don't know. Then you got the OPA 1656. I think that's the amp chip for the preamp section, I believe. Then you got two pieces of pluggable NE5532s. The 5532s good and reliable op amps there, so you can change them out if you want to and swap them for others. So it's good to see that in there as well. Okay, so I've got it all plugged in and set up. Use this button just to turn it on. There you go, welcome. Nice little screen there. You might see a little bit of flickering, but it's just because my frame rate on the camera is not the same as the frame rate on this. It's not flickering in real life. It's only doing it on the camera. Okay. It's actually very clear. This also doubles as your mode button. You can go through the modes here. So I'm on USB, then it's optical. And then we got coaxial, Bluetooth, RCA, auxiliary, and back to USB. It also does your volume duties as well. There's a button with many functions. Okay, on this one here, you got your tone controls here. Won't do anything now. You just press it once. There's your bass, so I can turn the bass. I think it's plus or minus 10 dB. Yep, there you go. There we are. And then you got your treble. Just like that. And you can also do it all on the remote as well. Using, you can select your inputs there. Mute. You got your bass and your treble there. It's also got a display, so and again, like the Q11, it doesn't dim the display, that button there. Okay, it just turns it off and on. I wish that it would have like 3 settings just to go a little bit darker, then off, then back on. You know what I mean? Just dim it a little bit. That would be, I think they're definitely missing a trick there. I understand if people want to turn it off, but you've got that light on as well. So I suppose you could just turn that away from you. Okay, talking about the VU meter. Now, this button on the back, the presses in and turns around. It does change the functions on it. So I'm not sure what I've got it on now. Right. So you can see that it's actually changing the brightness, dimming and brightening it up. Okay. Now, it can also change the color. You can also have it, but I think it's 3 colors, red, green, and yellow, potentially. I think that's what it is. You can also change the gain setting on it as well. So you can have the arm swinging a little bit further if it's not performing as well as it should. Okay. But the problem is I'm not, it says hold for 1 second, hold for 2 seconds for one, hold for 3 seconds for another. So press once, I'm going to try it anyway, see what we can get out of it. Right. So what's it doing now? Still on the brightness, okay. Was it running through color? Oh, I'm running through different colors now. There you go. Right, that's one press. If I ever press it again, still the same. Oops, still the same, right. Right, I think it's running through different colors now. I think that's what that's doing. Another press. Right, if I press and hold it for maybe 2 seconds. Right, it flashes like that. And I think that's the highest gain. If you got it on red, if you got it on that, it's the medium gain. If you got it on that one, I think that's the lowest gain. Right. So there we are. I'll put it on the highest gain. And if I press and hold it for 3 seconds, what have I got now? I don't even know. Am I out of it? How do I get out? Oh, there we go. I'm out of it now. Right. There we are. Okay. So it's a little bit confusing and the instructions don't help. But them settings are there. Just have to mess around with it and find out for yourself. Right, the headphone amp. Now, this headphone amp actually surprised me. It caught me a little bit off guard. Now, I've seen headphone amps and a lot of these smaller amps coming over from China and things like that. And they kind of put on there as a sort of as a side thought, you know what I mean? They're on there. They're all right. They're listenable, but they're not fantastic. This one, however, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised when I plugged my headphones in and listened. My headphones are only 32 ohms, but this was punchy, clear, you know, coherent. It wasn't too sibilant on top. That's what tends to happen with poor headphone amplifiers. They tend to be a little bit sibilant on top, a bit, you know. This isn't. And I have to say, is it the best you're ever going to get? No, probably not. But it's more than serviceable. Like, it's a lot better than my headphone on my PC. A lot better. And a lot louder. I couldn't get any higher than, I think I got it up to about, this goes up to 99. And I couldn't get it any louder than about 70-ish, 75, I think 75, before my ears started bleeding. it got quite loud. So I wouldn't recommend getting any louder than that. Depends on your headphones, I suppose. So I'm guessing, 600 ohm headphones, it says it does, I don't know. I think it'll drive most headphones sufficiently. Anyway. And there you go. So most importantly, how does it sound? Now, what I thought I would do is put it up against the new Fozzy Audio ZD3 DAC. Now, I reviewed this a few weeks ago, a week or so back maybe, and I thought it was a very decent DAC. Nice DAC, I thought. Obviously, it's a little bit more traditional looking than the Douk Audio P1 Plus, okay? But how does the P1 Plus sound against the ZD3? Well, there's only one thing for it, isn't it? A sound test. You know what? I love a sound test. Oh, I do love a sound test. So, what I've done is I've plugged them into, used an audio capture device, plugged into my laptop as usual, recorded on Audacity, then uploaded as a WAV file to try and maintain as much as the original sound as I can before it goes on YouTube. Anyway, have a listen to this. And there you go. What do you think? Oh, so close. I've been having a lot of DACs coming through lately, and all these tests I do, the differences in sound are very subtle. It's always hard. You've got to lean in and really, listen to try and see if there is any difference, and is one better than the other. And the same here. Very difficult to say one's better than the other. There is a difference in sound. I thought there was. I think the tubes are adding something to the sound of the P1 Plus. Is that sound better than the ZD3? Debatable. ZD3 is a very capable DAC, but so is the P1 Plus. Just sounds a bit different. I thought they both performed admirably. Okay. I like the sound of the P1 Plus, but I like the sound of the ZD3. I don't know, flipping heck. Oh, but do you know what? The more I've used it and had it on my desktop, the more I'm warming to it. I like its funky looks, and I think it goes well with my PC. It's a slightly different shade, but I think it looks pretty cool. I really do. Anyway, so let me know what you think in the comment section, okay? And I will catch you in the next one.